Diego and I am making very short video stories. Every family sooner or later goes through family crisis, of death in the family or sickness, and is not a very good thing to go through. And where there are kids it is more hard for their parents or family member to cope with it, but for those kids that can understand when you explain to them something it is the parents or other family member to explain to them why those bad things happen. But why do we have to wait for something like that to happen to start teaching them the fact of life? Start as soon as they can understand what you are explaining to them. Kids are very smart at early age. Start by telling short stories like the ones you see in this short stories. And if possible read the stories that are in the Bible. Some of my stories are based on Bible fact. Sometime the way that are written is very easy to understand, even small kids are able to understand the phrases.
And now, we'll be hearing some music before the short story starts.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Dad, so I have to suffer for what Adam and Eve did long, long ago. Well son, let me explain to you one more time what did happen. Remember what I told you, that the devil used a snake to talk to Eve? Let me read some words from the Bible, okay, in Genesis 3:1-7, and it say, "Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it said to the woman, in this case Eve, did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden? At this the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from it, no, you must not touch it, otherwise you will die. At this the serpent said to the woman, you certainly will not die. For God knows that in the very day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and bad. So you see son, the snake was telling Eve that God was a liar. And you and I know that God does not is a liar. So now Eve wanted to be like God now. You see, not only did Eve eat from the tree that God told her not to eat, but she gave Adam some of the same fruit. Now both of them were in sin. Let me now read some more from the Bible so we will see why Eve ate from the tree. Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was something desirable to the eyes. Yes, The tree was pleasing to look at. So she began taking of it fruit and eating it. Afterward she also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves. So you see, son, when the Bible say that their eye opened, it meant that they will know bad from good. So now they know that they were naked, and we know that people cannot be naked because it is a bad thing, and just there they began to sin. So you see, the Bible says through one man Adam sin entered into the world, and death through sin. Romans 5:12. So son, why do you think God did not destroy the devil, Adam and Eve, and start with a new Adam and Eve right there? God did judge Adam and Eve, but he did not kill them right away. He had to prove to the whole world and the heavens that the rebels were not able to rule themselves. But for the time being now we have to get old and die. But there will be a time when God will put a stop to all the suffering in this world, and he will turn all the earth to a nice place to live again.
And now, the short story
Well, Dad,
will begin.
At least we know that Grandpa is looking down on us, and taking care of us all the way from up there. As I remember Grandpa, he was a good person. Well, son, that is not correct. And yes, son, Grandpa was a man that believed that what the Bible teaches the true. Let me explain to you what the Bible says about dead. The Bible tell us in Ecclesiastes 9:5 and states, the living are conscious that they will die, but as for the dead, they are conscious of nothing at all. Do they feel anything or have feeling? Let's see what verse 6 tell us. Their love and their hate and their jealousy have already perished, and they have no portion any more to time indefinite in anything that has to be done under the sun. In fact, when folks says let them rest in peace, they know that they are dead, and they are resting. So they do not have any feeling at all. Yes, God have promised that the dead will rise in the future. Before we leave for town, I know that you want to know why have God permit all the suffering that is going all over the world. Well, son, Jehovah is a loving God. He love us that much that he gave his son to die for us so that with live. God have to have time to prove to the whole world and the heavens that the rebels Adam and Eve were not capable of ruling themselves. And he have proved that all the time. You see, all the suffering that is going on are the doing of Adam and Eve. Jehovah made them perfect, they would have lived forever, with not knowing pain or suffering. So kids, we will be making a big decision or move that will affect all the family. My father is getting old and he cannot take care of the ranch by himself. He will need my help. Yes kids, your ma and me have agreed to it, and now we are letting you kids know, okay? See kids, I as my father's son have the obligation to help my parents in their old age. I sure want to be in God's favor. Jehovah mandates that every young person when their parents get old are to help them. Yeah, Dad, we are with you and Mom. We have always liked the farm, there is much to do there. Are we changing church? And school too? I hope that our grandparent live for a very long time, even if we have to help them in everything so they won't get tired, and at the same time we get to learn how to help you and Mom, Dad. So, when our time comes for us to help you folks, we will know how to help you. Well, Dad, are we ready to go to town?
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see.